everyone, welcome back to Studioloo. I'm here today with the next stage of these flea market style traveler's notebooks that I've been making. So I'm at the stage now where I've gotten them entirely Mod Podged in and out, and I have done the stitching to close the pockets. So this, and this are stitched in that second round of stitching after you've done all your Mod Podging and everything is dry. If you missed the first video, I will link it below, or you can just search flea market style on my channel and you will find it. But anyways, we have 12 of these journals and we're now at the next stage. Well, I'll show you this. Hold on. I made a couple of them using this super cute 1947 book. It's called Patsy Twins and Pan, and it's like the cutest images. And so it's just a little, like a big book, but with a few, it just has a few pages in each one. But I thought they were really cute, so I decided to make a few with those and really like how they've turned out. That's another one of them. And we have a few owls, and our squirrel, and another one of those girls, and a bunny. Okay, so the next steps are, you can do these in whatever order you prefer, but number one, I want to cover the spine on the outside and the inside with fabric. In the past, I've used seam binding for this. That's also totally fine. And really, you only need to do one side, but I'm thinking about doing both just for the fun of it. We'll see. We'll see where I go with this. But the next stage is I'm going to be putting eyelets through these to allow a tie to close them because they're going to be ephemera stuffed books. So I'm going to do the holes first using my my big crocodile chomper here from We Are Memory Keepers. You could do, pardon me, you could do this with something other than the crocodile. You could use a hole punch, but I'm going to use the larger of the 3/16 hole, and I'm going to keep the two covers together because that's going to guarantee that my hole's in the same place as each side of the cover. It's going to be in the exact same place. So you need a nice strong hole punch to just punch that, and see, now we've got a hole that matches. So I'm just going to go through and pop all the holes. The other thing to keep in mind too, don't go too far out because this is going to be inside that pocket, right? So your pocket here is going to get narrowed a little bit, which is fine because like there's still a ton of tuck space there. I'm comfortable with that. If you're not comfortable with that, before you stitch these down, well, actually no, you need to have it go all the way through. What you could do is you could actually just, if you don't want the hole all the way through impacting the pocket, you could cut a slit right here, and you could thread your tie through and then stitch it at the back behind the pocket here so that you wouldn't see anything. But anyhow, I've made these a couple of times now, and I don't feel like there's any impact to doing it this way. You just don't want to go too deep. And also just take a look if you put some kind of a focal point like this bird head, don't punch through the head, you know, go a little lower. So I'm just going to do this one on this side while I'm watching to make sure that I put it in a reasonable place. And they sound a little bit crinkly right now. That's just because they were just Mod Podged. They are dry, but when you put Mod Podge against Mod Podge, it does like to touch, you know, they do like to make a crinkle sound. So here, the key is not to go through these guys' faces. So this one I'm going to go about a little bit lower than that. So right about here. Perfect. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is I have to choose the eyelet color for each of these, which one I like the best, and just press the eyelets in. I'll just pause while I do that so that you don't have to watch me just getting eyelets and punching them in over and over again. Because this is a mass make, like there's going to be a little bit of repetition, but that's okay. Just you know, if you want to make along with me or work on something, then you can. Also, I think it's good because it shows you something more than one time. So that's okay with me. All right, so yeah, next stage will be to get the eyelets. Get rid of all these little bits and bobs. I need to replace this paper soon. It's getting quite grungy. So we have all of the eyelets put into the books now. I just kind of matched up the color that I thought looked nice with the cover. And I also now have moved on to select a fabric strip that I want to go with each of these journals. So let me show you, I guess I'll show you first how I did that. So I just tore a piece of cotton fabric that is a little over twice the length of the journal because I want to wrap it on both sides. Truly, you only need something on the outside, I would say, to just protect the spine, because you're going to be doing your punching in here, but I just think it looks neater to have it entirely covered. So I did a couple of them ahead of time to just show you. So this one, I selected a butterfly fabric for, and I just stitched this one down the middle, which I'm good with. I don't care if this kind of lifts up and frays. I think that kind of adds to the charm, and it's not going to affect the spine. This one I did first, and I decided I would stitch on the edges of the fabric, but it seems a little bit excessive. I don't think I need that there, because like it's not going to in any way affect the spine. So I think I'm just going to do one line of stitches down the center, just a zigzag. So the way that I'm going to do this is to just affix it. I'm going to use a good glue stick. So I just start by just doing a nice kind of thick, and this has a little bit of texture in the center here. It's normal for it to feel a little rough. That's why I want to cover it, because it's where all the seams of the paper got folded. So then you just go to the top here and pull that relatively taut and just lay it down. And then you might need to tug it one way or the next to just not block. You know, if you have a focal point like this owl here, I don't want to block him. So I'll just kind of tug everything so that it's over a little more. And again, I don't mind if this is frayed up, and it will, so I will see the owl there. Just gotta get rid of these threads. Okay, because cotton fabric like this only frays so much. It doesn't go forever or anything. It's and you're going to be stitching it. So now we do the outside, same thing. Let's do a generous amount of glue. And you could use Fabri-Tac, and if you really wanted to, you know, have complete control over the fabric staying exactly where you put it, then you would just do a line of Fabri-Tac behind. Just keep in mind though that Fabri-Tac, depending on the fabric you use, it can bleed through and leave like a wet look. Okay, so I'll just cut the excess off here. Then I'm going to go and stitch right the center. So maybe I'll do just one more to show you again. So this one I chose this green fabric. So again, I'm just going to go right down the center here. And then down the center here. Okay. And then we just cut the excess off. All right, so I will go and I will I will stitch, I'll prepare all of these, I'll come back and then I'll show you the next stage. So the stitching is now completed. So I just went down the center here. So now next step is just snip the strings off from stitching, and I do back stitch on both ends to just secure the stitches. So then I'm going to go ahead and fold the journal back in half, and then just use a bone folder to just smoosh that down a little bit. Your glue may still be a bit wet at this stage, so just be mindful of that. Then down here I'm going to just clip the edge of the fabric to retain the round shape, and I'm going to do it on top of where I back stitched, and then just kind of, you know, form everything together. And then just go in, and if you need to clip any excess fabric from the bottom, you can. You don't have to. It's kind of like a nice raggedy sort of look. But yeah, that is that stage. So in the meantime, I completed all of these ones, and I really think they're adorable. I like this fabric edge. You may get a few strings here and there to just, you know, pull them off. But yeah, they turned out really cute. And those are done. This one has a little excess fabric, and you'll see what it looks like when it kind of if it comes up, which I think is just charming. I'm not like, it doesn't in any way affect the integrity of the journal. You'll see there's stitching. It can't come off in any way. Yeah. So that is all of those. Then the next stage really is to just start to select your signatures for this. So these journals are mostly coming out to be about just a little over 5.5, almost 5 3/4 by 9, because that's what we cut them to. So they can be, you know, I usually will do just short of 9, like 8 3/4 for the up and down, and then the vertical rather, and then I'll probably do like 5.5 for the pages, maybe some just 5 1/4 as they get closer to the inside of the signature. And what I'm going to do next, I think, is maybe I will start doing videos each day, and I will, I'll decide how many pages we want to do, like maybe say 16 or possibly a few more. I'll see, but I think I will write a plan for each page. So let's say page 1 is going to have, you know, a tuck spot made from a vintage photo and a tag inside of it and whatnot. So maybe we will do that each day or over the next few videos. I'm not going to commit to a schedule, but I will probably put this in a series, or I will use the same naming convention so that you can find the videos each day. I will be using flea market style as the theme for these, so you can look for flea market style page 1, page 2, etc. So keep in mind with the pages, you know, if we have if this is page 1, it will also be whatever the back page is, like page, you know, 50 or something. So just something to keep in mind. And so that is it for today. You can also select your ties that you're going to use. I'm planning probably vintage seam binding or a fabric for these. You could also decide if you would want to have any kind of charms or anything like that and start making those ahead of time, or you know, creating ruffles or something. Just things that you like to put into your journals and traveler's notebooks. So there we go, 1 dozen of these beauties, and I just love how they feel and I love how they look. I will be back again with the next step. So bye for now.